What's up, chosen ones? What's up, fam? I don't know, I just wanted to, like, film a little bit and talk about how I'm totally crushing. It's cool when you meet people and you, like, totally fucking click. It's super fucking hot, actually. But he's engaged to be married. Probably already figured that what that meant out, but some people, you know, need a little more definition. But yeah, he's engaged to be married. But like, in another timeline, man. Cause like, I really need to go to the dentist. Holy fuck. Excuse my language. Sorry. But it's just cool when you like vibe. And attraction's like crazy. Like attraction's a crazy fucker, you know? Excuse my language again. I'm just making some dinner. And I don't know, we just had fun and I just yeah. It was me and I made two new colleagues, I guess, from work today. We went out for lunch. But like even before lunch, like we like I don't know, like what does it mean when you like catch eyes with somebody across the room? I thought that was just like a Taylor Swift song or something, but that like actually happened today, and I was like eh. But like it wasn't even like, oh, I think that person's like, I mean, I was like, yeah, they're good looking, but I was like, it was more of like I felt their energy, and I was like, it matches my energy, and that's what I like. That it wasn't lust at first. It was just like normal dude, but it was like I was vibing and kind of like doing a little dance just while I was sitting down because I was excited for the day. But and then I don't know. I'm just like, what? I probably shouldn't even feel this way, but whatever. I mean, not whatever, but attraction's crazy. Like, or when you have chemistry with somebody, it's like fucking nuts. Like, it's nuts. Like, it's nuts. Anyway, so I'm just like making my dinner and just like smiling and like being like, what is this feeling? This is stupid. But it's not stupid. It's just cool to connect with people and really vibe. But compatibility is like a crazy motherfucker. Like that shit's nice. Fuck. Shit's nice. Excuse my language. I'll try and watch it. Oh man, I don't know. It's like I'm a confident gal, and that works for me. And I love it when guys are confident too. Like that shit's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like anyway, I could see why he's engaged, but I don't know, there shouldn't be a but, sorry, I don't know, but it's like, wow, you meet people and you're like, wow, they're a catch, and it's like, pretty cool, I don't know, I haven't, usually I, like, you know, like, have, like, a conversation, or people are, like, you know, there's some interest of, like, common interest, I'm like, oh, you do this, and I do that, and, but when it's like, you click, like, it's like, when you click right away, it's like, the fuck is this feeling, you know, that's, like, crazy. Like, I'm just saying attraction's, like, crazy. Like, when you, like, when you find people that you, like, jive with, or when you have a lot of fun with, And we were just like, we went out to lunch with me, him, and another coworker. But I usually don't meet people that are like, I don't know. I always feel like I am cocky as fuck. And then he was like cocky as fuck. And I was just like, we're vibing. I appreciate it when people are themselves, and that shit's cool. I don't know. Probably shouldn't. I wish him the best. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's engaged. That's a good thing. People need to get married at one point, or live their lives and fall in love and all that good stuff. But I don't know. I kind of thought like, in another timeline, man. Like that was some compatibility, and like you're just like, you go to work sometimes and you're like, oh, like I'm gonna go to work and it's gonna be a day, but then it's like we had a blast for like an hour lunch, and we're just laughing and laughing and laughing, and had ourselves a grand old time. And I was just like, it wasn't even the looks at first. I was just like, I mean, yeah, you notice when someone's good looking, but it was more like the energy, energy exchange, when you like, I'm trying to cook up my lunch I'm eating my lunch because I didn't, yeah. I bought cake. I bought some cake in Connecticut for lunch, and then I'm eating my sandwich that I packed for lunch for dinner. But I don't know, I guess, like, I'm just happy that I could feel attraction again, because, like, for a while I was like, doom and gloom, love sucks, and I'm never gonna open up and trust a man again, and all men are horrible, and all men ruin my life, and like never to be trusted again. Like I was so swearing off men for like, I felt like the rest of my life. But then you meet, it's like, then you like, that's what's cool about healing. It's like you don't plan on meeting people, and when you do, you're like, you're having a good time. It's nice. It's refreshing. I thought I was cocky as fuck, and then he. Anyway, so what's funny too is that both of the boys, like, well, they're grown men. They're very respectable grown men. They're both students at a prestigious school in New York City. I don't want to like give all the information, but Ivy League, and garbage. Put that there. And they like they both like didn't finish their cornbread, and I feel like I'm always like that girl that's like, you gonna eat that? I'm not even kidding you. From like the time of when I was like literally ever since I can remember, I've always just loved food and shamelessly will take other people's leftovers. And I'm not gonna let that go to waste. It's like we went to like a soul food place. It was super good, like teriyaki glazed salmon, collard greens, you know, that southern kind, mac and cheese. What else? Cornbreads. Yeah, I had the cornbread. Well, I got cake. But damn. There's some. I'm heating up the cornbread right now. This is some of the cornbread. But Connecticut's got good food. Connecticut's got good shopping. I got a new dress. I went to Target at 8 a.m. Before work because I realized that my dress was... I was technically breaking dress code, so I had to go to Target before work. And God bless my roommate. He hooked it up with helping me get there and helping me get the right dress. And I got a new winter coat, so God bless my roommate for that too. I really appreciate being able to get some new clothing and a new dress for work. Like, that was very princess vibes. I really appreciated that. And I got a ton of compliments on that coat. Honestly, a little too many compliments. It's a little overwhelming when you're just trying to get home. I think I got 3 compliments, yeah. What? Hey, that's good energy. No, I got 4 compliments. Yeah, that's pushing it. I'm like, I'm just trying to get home, but thank you. You know, I was in a pretty good mood, because I was able to eat dinner on the way, eat part of my dinner on the way back on the train. I actually spent too much money at lunch. You know, if everyone else is going out to eat, I feel weird if I'm not gonna get something at that restaurant. And I just like pull out my packed lunch. I've always been that kid. But or you know what I'm saying? So I got a cake. And then I ended up being $1.75 short on a train ticket back to New York. So I was like, I just prayed and I was like, God will provide. I'm not gonna stress about it. And there was an older gentleman that I asked nicely, and he was so sweet, and, you know, because I don't like having to ask for help. You know, there's nothing wrong every once in a while. $2. Okay, I think most people are, if they're willing, it's really, sometimes it can be refreshing to be able to be in the position to help others, and that's what I was praying for. So it's just $1.75 short, because I tipped the guy, because the guy was so great at the restaurant. Man, he was cool. He was cool as hell. And I tipped him as much as I could. So that's why I was $1.75 short. Otherwise, I would have been responsible enough to make sure I had my train money. But yeah, that guy was hella funny, because we were standing in line, and the coworkers that I made like kind of like new friends with, I guess, today. Well, new acquaintances, new colleagues. Your coworkers aren't your friends. They were like, you like living in the Bronx? And I was like, oh, I love it. Well, most days. And then the guy working, he was so cute. He had a little backwards hat. And guys don't know how cute that is. Maybe you guys do. And he was a cook, you know, a line cook, and had the everything black, and he just looked like he had been in the restaurant industry for a while, and he had that swag of the restaurant industry with like the backwards hat, and he was cool as hell, man. Like, and he was like, did you just say that you love the Bronx? And then I was like, and he's like, but most days, there we go, now that's reality. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, otherwise you want some vacation shit. And I was like, yeah, we were just cracking jokes, like, left it, like, the whole day, like, during our free time when we weren't working, we were just cracking jokes and that, so I wanted to tip him. But anyway, going back, fast forward to the train, that older gentleman even offered to buy me a coffee, while I was waiting for the train. So it's like, God is so good. He's so good. He's so good. And then I met another really, really sexy girl today. And I told her she was sexy twice. And then the third time I talked to her, I mentioned that I'm definitely a little gay. And so I was hoping that she would pick up on that. But you never know. The first time I told her, your outfit, you look like, your outfit is like a sexy Back to the Future. She looked so good, and it was her energy. It was the way she carried herself. It wasn't just looks or the outfit or the fashion. It was the confidence. The confidence. Damn, she was confident, and I loved it. She was so. So I told her, I was like, yeah. I was like, that was the first thing, and then we were kind of like, because part of the job is like kind of dancing and being of high energy, and like she and I were kind of like dancing, and I was like, you're so sexy. I just like, but I like quietly, you know, like not like crazy, like quietly. And she's like, thank you. So she was really positive, receptive to the first compliment, because she was like, oh, thank you, I like your outfit too. And then we were dancing again. She was a really good dancer. She must have experience, clearly. And I was like, you're so sexy. I just, like, had to tell her. And then we were talking later on, literally at the water cooler during a bathroom break. And she's like, so, like, where are you from? And I was like, well, I've been in the Bronx for the past 2 years, but originally from Oregon, which is just right above California. She's like, oh, yeah, no, I know. I was in San Diego for a little bit. And she had, like, that stunning beauty that is, like, I was like, are you from the Netherlands? But I also detected an accent. But also, like, that stunning beauty and, like, blonde, like, blue-green eyes, so. And she's like, oh, Finland, yeah, and da-da-da-da, and she's like, how do you like New York? How do you like it? And I said, oh, yeah, we both vibed on that, for sure, because I was like, there's something for everybody here, and she was kind of going on that, too, and she was like, yeah, like, there's, like something for, like, artists, and I was like, yeah, like, there's open mic, like, every night if I want to, or, yeah, NYC is where it's at, for sure, and I feel a lot more comfortable to be gay here, and I was, like, trying to, like, to let her know that I'm, like, but it's all playful. I'm like a big flirt, and I have a lot of fun with it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Might be controversial. Some people might not like a woman who's liberated and free in her sexuality, but I had to work my whole life to finally accept that I'm attracted to women and that it's not a shameful thing. I grew up thinking that if I ever admitted that I prefer to eat more than be with a guy, then I would spend eternity in the lake of fire. I was literally raised in a very strict Christian household, and I would say, I was thinking about it the other day. I was watching Sex and the City. And one of the questions Carrie asked is big. She was like, have you ever been in love? And I feel like just the other day, like, I was feeling, like, pretty jaded, bitter, and, like, love sucks, and, like, it's never worked out for me. And then, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, no, I've never been in love. I was gonna, like, deny all of the beautiful relationships I've had, men and women. And say, like, nah, I've never been in love, I never felt love, and you don't need love, and you're closed off in my turtle shell, where no one can hurt me again. And then I thought about the one relationship that I absolutely cherish, who I talk about her to my roommate all the time, and he asks me about her and stuff, too, because he knows how much I loved her, and do still love her. But decisions were made, mistakes were made, and the love of the game of love, the game of love is all fair. It's a battlefield. It's all is fair. All is fair and well in the game of love. Yeah, I totally butchered that phrase, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. All is fair and all is well and fair in the game of love. Like, everything's fair game when you fall in love, because it's such a overwhelming, beautiful, and at times intoxicating infatuation, like, experience, overwhelming experience, and, like, love is a beautiful thing, and so it was, I think, I don't know when it was, I had a specific epiphany, I think maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but I mean, it's, like, pretty obvious, right, like, the way that I, like, move and sometimes dress and talk, like, people have asked me, like, people who are, like, gay are like, you're gay, right? And, like, no, I have a gaydar, like, you're definitely, and I just couldn't accept it about myself for, like, 29 years, like, literally just this year, I feel like I've, accepted my sexuality, but it was hard, you know, I think men are beautiful and absolutely gorgeous and strong and inspirational, but I mean, in 3rd grade, like, I remember being with a girl, and I not everything all at once. It was just kissing, but like I've been attracted to girls since I can remember, and I just finally let go of the shame and guilt, and I remember telling trying to tell my mom when I was little, and we were on vacation, and she was like, and I said, what would you do if one of your kids told you that they were gay? And she was eating some chips, and she was like chilling out on the bed, and we were in a hotel room, we were on vacation. She was like, oh God, I would be devastated. No, devastated, absolutely not. And I was like, okay, and I completely closed off all acknowledge, acceptance, admittance, anything of inkling of get, and trying to turn it inward and ignore it. And then I remember coming home after a work shift when I was working at Pure One Imports when I was 19. I had a coworker who was exceptionally blessed in her rack area, chest area, like extremely blessed. And we were cleaning up one night, and she was leaning over on the counter, and I remember I just like kept being distracted by, she was so blessed, beautiful, just she was so great, and she had a great, gorgeous rack. And I remember going home and crying because I felt like I was doing something wrong by being attracted to that, and by feeling the way I felt, just when it was just her and I at the end of the shift, and we were cleaning up, and I was kind of spraying the counters, and she was kind of like, and her lanyard was kind of like in the, and I was just like spraying, and then like distracted by, and I was like, I went home and cried my eyes out because I thought that there was something wrong with me, that I was attracted to my coworker, but I had always just shoved it down and shoved it down and shoved it down. So I don't know exactly what the epiphany was. Maybe it was like a month ago, it was like 2 months ago, it wasn't that long ago. I remember it was a really beautiful day, and I was just like, is it really okay to be gay? I was like, is it really okay? And I was like, oh my God, I finally accepted about myself. But I also like really feel attraction towards men too, so I guess it's bisexual, but there's nothing wrong with being attracted to the same sex, and I just, I'm like grateful. It took a lot of work to get to this point. You never want to disappoint your family, and when they picture it in this way where it's a sin, and you're spending the rest of eternity in the lake of fire because you would rather be with the same sex, it does something to an individual after being raised that way. And so I had to grow out of that, and I say now 2 years being in New York, I kind of, that was part of the reason of coming here, was to find my identity and to accept everything about myself. And I knew that New York was very welcoming, and you could wear anything you want, you could be whoever you are, and you could kind of say whatever you want in New York, and just, maybe not in everything, but you know what I'm saying. It's a very accepting place. It's New York. So, I am enjoying hitting on women a lot. It's very fun. Sometimes I feel like, though, it's not appreciated, and that's okay. You gotta read it, you know, can't just like, it's like, there's one girl I tried, just, it was a compliment, but I just said, you know, something along the lines of, I think it's sexy that you like to read philosophy, because she was saying, why am I spending my best years? She was funny. She was a comic. She was doing a bit, and she was hilarious. She was cute. She was good. She's skilled, and I wanted to let her know that in her bit, she was like, am I really spending the best days of my youth where I'm, like, gloriously, like, in my youth, you know, reading philosophy and kind of, like, sulking away in a solitude and just reading Nietzsche. She's like, what does Nietzsche have to do with, like, me being young and getting laid? Like, she was funny, and I went up to her after the open mic, and I was like, hey, by the way, like, I don't think there's anything wrong. I was like, by the way, I think it's sexy that you read philosophy. And then it just felt like I was flirting with either a bobcat or, like, a brick wall. There was nothing. There was nothing. So I was, ooh, okay. I was just trying to let you know that I think it's sexy when girls read. But not everyone's going to appreciate it, you know, when you show the attraction to them. And I understand that completely. It's fine. But the other girl that I kind of, like, let her know that at first I was like, you look like, your outfit's like a sexy Back to the Future. And I meant it. She was so sexy. I was like, ah! She's such a good dancer. And then later on I was just like, straight up like, you're sexy. So, yeah, flirting with women and hitting on women is, I'm enjoying it very, very much now that I've accepted that myself and who I am, and I'm not, like, full-on lesbian, or full, you know, but it's like, that's okay if I wanted to go that route, but I do find myself also attracted, like, god damn, like, that guy today that I met who was so fun and confident, and that's what I'm, you know, maybe I'm pansexual, or whatever, I don't know, there's so many labels, it gets kind of nauseating to think about all the labels now, but what I find is the person's attitude, the person's confidence, the person, until, I guess I'm sapiosexual, demisexual, like I'm, yeah, like, do I have a type? I mean, yeah, I have definitely a little bit of a type, but kind of just like anyone that looks like they got their own individuality, that's a turn on. That's a turn on. And then, like, when they're, like, fun and funny and they can dish it back. I like to show love with teasing people. And I'll just tease them, you know, like, it's not bullying, but it's kind of like, it's not negging, it's more like, let me show you my love by giving you a hard time. But, like, I'm saying all this shit I say with a smile, and then, you know, kind of bump them on the, not hit them on the shoulder, bump them on the shoulder, like, haha, like, joking, you know. They, you know, and if a joke doesn't land, I'm like, oh, I'm just joshing, you know. Like, I like to have fun and vibe and honestly always looking for that punchline. So whoever wants to hang out with that and whoever can dish it back with me, I want to have a good time. I want to find people that I can hold a conversation, not just for half an hour, but if we want to, like, get drinks and get dinner, and there's that compatibility. It doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy, but I'm finally at the point where I just accepted it's okay to be gay. Like, I even have a hard time, like, kind of still saying it, but, like, that's years of conditioning that it was a bad word, it was a bad thing, it was, oh, don't be that. I tried telling my dad, I did tell him, and he was more accepting than my mom, but when I was in college, it was, like, first time kind of, like, coming out, because I had this one girl who we took law classes together. We took 3 constitutional law classes together my junior year, and I really liked her, that we were talking, and she was like, yeah, bitch, you're gay. Like, she was like, yeah, she was so funny about it. She was so fucking funny about it. She was hilarious. She just, like, sat in the back of that class for the entire semester eating orange chicken and, like, giving her opinion on the legal system. I loved that girl. She was awesome. But yeah, I think even, like, the first question my roommate asked me when I was 22, and it was the first time we ever met in Times Square. Literally, just, he's still a cabbie, you know, like, and I just needed a safe, warm spot to hang out for a second, and I was homeless and broke and nothing, and so Um, I had an alibi that I was waiting for a bus to go to Maryland. I just picked a state, but that wasn't the truth at all. I was just trying to give the alibi that I was a traveler, not just homeless in Times Square type of thing. But yeah, when I first came to New York at 22, he asked me, "Are you gay?" And that was when I had my short mohawk, my purple mohawk. And so I guess I'm comfortably, like, attracted to both genders. But yeah, whoever's like a fun time to hang out with. It doesn't really matter what you look like, what gender you are, like where you're from, how thick of an accent you have. Like I feel like I want to see the person that they be just naturally, and if it clicks, it clicks, and if it's compatible, it's compatible. And, you know, there's a reason heterosexuality is so preferred. You know, that's what, you know, there's capitalism banks off of heterosexual relationships, and marriage and the economics of a heterosexual. We're in this conditioning where it's seemed to be like that is the go-to. Like, don't be anything other than heterosexual, and be what everything, be the status quo. Don't break out, don't just white picket fence, the nuclear family, little dog, nice house, car. Not everyone's into that, you know. Some people like what they like, and we're all here to experience this beautiful life, and I think this dinner is definitely warmed up now, so. Anyway, I really liked that guy today. I thought he was so cocky, but, like, in a cool way, like, because I'm cocky, like, overly bravado with letting people know that I think that they're awesome, or like, I don't mind hitting on people at all. I'm not scared to do that. I think it's so much fun. It's fun. Come on. Flirting's fun. Come on. Life is so tricky. Like, oh, flirting. Come on. That's literally the antidote to life getting you down. You can't, like, let life get you down and be isolated and never open up or try and have a conversation with people. Come on. Let me flirt and have a good time. That's fine. Within reason. I'm harmless. I just want to let people know that they got it going on, and real recognize real, and if I do it in a respectful, tasteful way, I think people, for the most part, really appreciate being appreciated. I like to joke around. I like to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to a word I say. I like to joke around and live life and try new things, meet new people. Go out, lose your phone, lose your keys, lose a hat, meet 5 new people that made you laugh so hard your stomach hurt. Go travel to new places and try a cocktail you've never tried before. And live our lives, you know? I'll put it back on the back burner. Cool down there. But thanks for letting me unpack my day and sexuality talk, I guess. And that's the dinner. So I'm gonna eat it. Peace out, you guys.